What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. In the last video, we talked about an Air Jordan 4, a special Air Jordan 4 that's due to come out very, very soon. That's the OG version of the Fire Red 4 that we haven't seen since 1989. And today, we're here to transition from the Air Jordan 4 into the Air Jordan 5. Now, listen, we've talked about a lot of Air Jordan 5s. We've talked about the history of the Air Jordan 5. We have talked about the significance of the Air Jordan 5. But today, we are talking about the hype of the Air Jordan 5. And this particular Air Jordan 5 is one that I've been conflicted on for quite some time. We'll talk about it after we take a look at the sneaker. Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 5 What The. Now, I got a lot to say about these. And again, I really have been struggling with if I like this sneaker or not. And if I do like this sneaker, why I like it. If I don't like the sneaker, why I don't like it. And the conclusion that I've come to after taking a look at this sneaker, taking an in-depth look at this sneaker, is that I actually like it. And a lot of you guys, I know a lot of people out there have been saying it's a juvenile sneaker, it looks ridiculous. And I'm not gonna lie, this sneaker has some really bad things about it, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to hold anything back about what I don't like about the sneaker. But the things that I do like about the sneaker, this is just one of those guilty pleasure sneakers that even somebody like myself that tries to rationalize everything, and I need history and I need a good story, and this is chock full of history, we'll get into that. But all in all, it just feeds the hype beast in me, and that's just really what it is with this sneaker. I hate to admit it. Let's get into the history of the sneaker. All right, guys, we're gonna take these sneakers piece by piece, both the right and the left sneaker. You guys may have seen this before. We're gonna break it down and not take too much time. As you guys know, this being a What The sneaker means that it takes different pieces from different sneakers, iconic colorways, and it kind of blends them all into this mishmash of different colorways. The difference with this one is that the materials are actually something we got to talk about as well. So let's start with the upper of the sneaker here. This yellow or Varsity Maze Nubuck upper looks exactly like the T23 Tokyo Air Jordan 5 of 2011. Very, very iconic sneaker. The Tokyo 5 Jordan dropped in 2011, of course, over in Tokyo. Very, very limited sneaker. It was a part of a special store opening over in Tokyo, and Jordan Brand went ahead and dropped the 5s and also some Chris Pauls that nobody ever talks about at all, but it's not a bad looking shoe actually. But obviously the crown jewel of the collection of that store opening was the Tokyo 5 Jordan. Now this sneaker right here is gonna cost me over $5,700 in my size right now. Like I mentioned, you have the Varsity Maze all along the upper. You have those wolf gray eyelets going all the way down the sneaker here. You have the iconic Tokyo, Japan 23 Shibuya City symbol right there on the lateral side by the heel. And of course you have the classic mesh netting in the quarter panels of the shoe. So that is the Tokyo 5 portion of the sneaker. Let's move on. Now underneath that, you have basically the remnants of the ghost green Air Jordan 5. Some people call them the Bel Airs. I still don't call them the Bel Airs. If you guys remember, we talked about the ghost green Air Jordan 5. A lot of people calling them the Bel Airs. We got into why I personally felt they weren't really the Bel Airs, but apparently Jordan Brand just kind of went with that because so many people called them the Bel Airs. So they sent seeding kits and little packages out to a bunch of people, kind of playing off of that theme of the Bel Air because that's kind of what drove the hype up. But again, I'm just calling it the Ghost Green Air Jordan 5, and this just looks like they had some materials left over from the Ghost Greens, because personally I feel like there are so many elements of the Bel Air 5 or the Ghost Green 5 in this sneaker, it just doesn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is. So just like that Ghost Green / Bel Air Air Jordan 5, you have that really interesting purple looking midsole here. You have the blue shark teeth here with that splatter of green inside of it on the lateral side as well. Taking a top down look at the sneaker here, no extra laces for $220. Let me just stop right there. We don't get any extra laces for $220, not including tax on this sneaker. For a What The sneaker on top of that already incorporates so many different elements and so many different colors into the shoe. Nobody watches these videos from Jordan Brand, but if anybody does, I really need to understand, why we didn't get any extra sets of laces. You guys could have given us yellow, you guys could have given us red, you guys could have given us so many different kinds of laces, but I guess they felt like black kind of tied everything together and was kind of this muted color that kind of worked with every other color in the sneaker. But I don't know, I feel like if you're gonna make a what the sneaker and have all these different elements inside of it, why not go crazy with the laces as well? All right, back to the sneaker. Taking a top down look at the sneaker here, you guys see the elements of the Tokyo Jordan 5, again, the black laces, and you have the 3M tongue. That brings us to the next element of the sneaker, which is the olive Jordan 5. As you guys can see, you have that orange stitch Jumpman against that full 3M tongue. The back of the tongue is orange, but you have this really interesting upside down Air Jordan tag with the Air Jordan in red. Now, this was an interesting choice for this tongue going back to the 2006 Lifestyle Air Jordan 5. Now, the Lifestyle Jordan 5s, for you guys that may or may not know, that was kind of a version of the Air Jordan 5 that actually wasn't designed for you to play basketball in the sneaker. It actually was made with more premium materials, and it was used again for lifestyle. A lot of them drop with apparel and things like that. Now, personally, the olive and orange Jordan 5 Lifestyle was not my favorite at all. My favorite Lifestyle Air Jordan 5 was that burgundy, that nice maroon colored Air Jordan 5 Lifestyle. Now, if they had incorporated some of those elements in that sneaker, chef's kiss. That would have been really, really nice. But they didn't do that. They went with the orange on these, and I get it. It matches the interior and the sock lining of the sneaker as well. Let's take a look at that. As you can see, we're still on the right sneaker. On the inner lining of the sneaker, you see the classic elements of the Air Jordan 5 laser orange that dropped in 2007. Now, you guys may or may not know, that also was a Lifestyle Air Jordan 5, had some really, really nice 3M elements, laser etching all over the upper of the sneaker, icy bottoms on the sneaker. It was really, really nice. And finally, on the outsole of the right shoe on the What the Air Jordan 5, you get that ghost green outsole once again, aka the Bel Air. You get the icy outsole mixed in with a little bit of purple and the green element right in the midfoot. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the right sneaker of the Air Jordan 5 What the. Now let's get into everybody's favorite part of this sneaker, the left sneaker of the What the Air Jordan 5. Now this left sneaker tells a very different story. This left sneaker here, this is a little cleaner, this is a little nicer, I'm not gonna lie about that, but let's dive into it. So as you guys can see on this one, the main pronounced color is red and the main pronounced material is suede as opposed to the nubuck that was on the right sneaker. Obviously, the upper of the sneaker takes us back to 2009, the Raging Bull Air Jordan 5. One of the most popular Air Jordan 5s to release to date, and it has an anticipated date in 2021, I believe in April, to come back. Now, as all the OG sneakerheads know, the Raging Bull Jordan 5 was a part of a 2-pack called the Defining Moments pack that dropped back in 2009. Really, really clean pack, but the Raging Bull 5, this red one, this deep red color, this was the clear favorite for a lot of people. I didn't see a lot of people say that they liked the other 5 as much as they liked the Raging Bull. This is the one right here. Now, let's talk about this tiny little symbol right here, because this tiny little symbol is the only thing that represents this Air Jordan 5 in the entire Air Jordan 5. It's the symbol from the Shanghai Shen Air Jordan 5. Now, what's funny to me about the Shanghai Shens is that there actually were a good amount of fakes that were made of that sneaker, and before people really realized it was a real thing that was only releasing overseas back in 2013, a lot of people didn't even want to touch the Shanghai Shens because there were so many fakes, and they didn't even know if the shoe itself was a real sneaker that Jordan Brand came out with. Indeed, it was a real sneaker. It did come out in 2013. It just never came out in the United States. Now, what's interesting to me is that they didn't add any other elements from the Shanghai Shen 5s except for the little Shanghai symbol here right on the lateral side of the left sneaker. I don't know why they did that, but that's what we get. Now, the only thing I can think of personally is that since they have the Shanghai Shen emblem here and the Tokyo 23 emblem here, maybe they wanted to go for 2 of the biggest overseas Asian marketed drops for Air Jordan 5s, because obviously the Shanghais and the Tokyos were probably 2 of the biggest exclusive drops overseas. But outside of that, I really don't know why they didn't incorporate any other design elements of the shoe. It was basically an inverted Laney 5 colorway. There was a lot of black, there was a lot of yellow, there was a lot of blue. Personally, I feel like they could have incorporated some of those elements from that inverted Air Jordan 5 that was the Shanghai Shen 5, maybe into where some of this purple is on this midsole here, taking some of this out and maybe added some of that black or some of that yellow, or I don't know, something else here. I I don't like the Ghost Green 5s that much, guys. I'm sorry. Now, as far as the upper and the rest of the elements, everything else is pretty true to the Raging Bull 5. You have these anthracite kind of looking black eyelets here. Everything else is pretty much the same as far as color, hue, material, all of that. Now, right underneath that Raging Bull upper here in that really nice suede, you have the midsole and outsole from the K54 Paris Basketball Tournament Air Jordan 5. Now, the K54 Air Jordan 5 dropped in 2011. Now, they had a really nice friends and family version that had a black upper. They had a version with this midsole and outsole that had a white upper. Still, both were pretty hard to find, but the white version is going for a little less money on the market than the black version. But you guys can see, just like the K54, it's got this all black painted midsole here with those shark teeth, those silver shark teeth with the black splatter inside of it. You also have the same outsole on the left sneaker as well from the K54, primarily black with those really nice, really deep volt green colors on the front of the foot and on the heel of the foot. No, this sneaker does not glow in the dark, but it literally looks like it's already glowing. So, I mean, I don't know how much brighter you guys would want this green to be, because it literally looks like it's glowing all the time. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here. Again, elements of that red you guys can see very pronounced. But going up the tongue on this one, now we get the tongue from the Green Bean Air Jordan 5s. Now, the Green Bean Air Jordan 5 is an old favorite for a lot of OG sneakerheads. You either really, really like them or you really didn't want that much to do with them. Personally, I've always been a fan of the Green Beans, but I never actually owned a pair of the Green Beans. So I can't tell you much about owning the original sneaker or the quality of it or the materials or the elements that shined a lot, the 3M elements of the sneaker and everything like that. But I respect the Green Bean as a really, really dope OG colorway of the Air Jordan 5. And as you can see here, they stayed true to form with the green stitched Jumpman on this one, offset against that full 3M tongue as well. This Dubray here, this green Dubray, I believe also comes from the K54 Air Jordan 5, but don't quote me on that one. If it comes from something else that you guys know about, sound off down in the comments and let me know. Now, this is the part I don't get. I don't get, with all the different elements and choices and colorways of Air Jordan 5s, why in the world we chose to go with the Ghost Green / Bel Air Jordan 5 print yet again inside of the left sneaker as well. I mean, to me, it just kind of clashes with the rest of the shoe. I mean, I guess maybe it folds in with the element with the green bean, and then you have little pops of green against the pink and the blue inside of the sneaker, which I guess I get. But there's just so many elements of the Bel Air Jordan 5s in here. I don't know why there's so much Bel Air Jordan 5 material in here. Like, was there a surplus? Did they not sell? What's going on with so many elements of the Bel Air Jordan 5 against all these different iconic colorways of the Air Jordan 5? Like, how do you match up the Bel Air Ghost Green 5 against a classic like the Raging Bull? I don't get it. Maybe you guys can help me out. I don't know. Last but not least, quite possibly the most disappointing point of the sneaker here, with all of that going on the left and right sneakers, you get a plain black insole with a plain white Jumpman on the heel. Why we didn't get anything else besides that, I don't know. Taking a look at the 3M elements of this sneaker, like I mentioned, full 3M on both of the tongues here. So I really do like how they incorporated two different colorways that had full 3M tongues and have kind of those offsetting colors with the green and the orange. It's a nice touch, so I'm not mad at that. It's a nice touch. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Air Jordan 5 what the. And I know it sounds like I kind of ragged on the sneakers a lot, and I know at the beginning of the video I said that I actually like these, and don't get it wrong, I do like these. But in thinking about why I like these sneakers, I came to a conclusion, and I had to be honest with myself. I like these sneakers because I know that there's a very, very small chance that I'll ever be able to get my hands on the original variations of any of these sneakers. So in my mind, and again, the hype beast in me kind of thinks about the fact that, wow, I finally kind of have a Tokyo 5 in my hand, or I kind of have a Raging Bull, or I kind of have a Shanghai 5. And because it feels like you kind of have a lot of these colorways that honestly would cost us thousands and thousands of dollars to get our hands on individually, we just kind of appreciate the fact that we at least have some kind of element of the sneaker in our hands finally. Now, one thing that I thought was really weird on this one was the fact that there were two completely different materials, but I get it because it's staying true to the actual sneaker itself, like even down to the materials, with the Raging Bull 5 being more of this suede and the Tokyo 5 being more of this nubuck. So I guess I can appreciate that from Jordan Brand, but it just feels so much like two completely different shoes when you add that element in here that it really makes them feel mismatched. It doesn't make them feel like a mashup, if that makes sense what I'm saying. Normally with a What The colorway, it feels like all the colors are gelling together to make one really cohesive sneaker set. But with this pair, it honestly feels like these two are pairs from two other sets of What The sneakers that should be more closely aligned to one another. And for that reason, it just makes the sneaker a little awkward to wear because it literally feels like you're wearing two different shoes. What The sneakers already look enough like you're wearing two different shoes without you literally wearing two sneakers that are completely different materials. Now, obviously, this sneaker is going to be a hit with a lot of younger sneakerheads that are probably into dressing like this and kind of looking real weird and different and funky and stuff like that. And I get that part of it. And I also understand Jordan Brand's take at trying to bridge the gap between old and new, past, present, and future, things of that nature, trying to incorporate some really iconic and historical elements of some of the most popular and amazing colorways of Air Jordan 5s that have ever been known to exist. They've also included some elements of lifestyle Air Jordan 5s in addition to retro Air Jordan 5s, in addition to OG Air Jordan 5s, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate what Air Jordan is trying to do here. However, I do think that there are some things that Jordan Brand could have probably expounded on or done a little bit differently to make this sneaker feel a little bit better. For one, the colorway of the upper of the sneaker. Some people are calling it ketchup and mustard, which I think is pretty hilarious. But again, I feel like they could have incorporated two models of a sneaker that maybe had the same materials on the top, maybe something that was a little more complementary to one another. Maybe they could have used colors that were a little more complementary. I don't know. I feel like Nike has done such an incredible job with other What The versions of sneakers before that this one was just a lot. I mean, you look at the What The Air Jordan 4, right? So Jordan Brand did something very similar to this with the Air Jordan 4. And I feel like that actually was a step in the opposite direction of what they shouldn't have done. I felt like that one was a little too bland. It was a little too plain. I wanted a black upper on that sneaker as opposed to a white upper. I feel like that would have added a lot more character to the sneaker, but they didn't do that. So maybe what Air Jordan felt like was, okay, we went a little too safe with the Air Jordan 4 What The. Let's step it up and be a lot bolder with the Air Jordan 5 What The. And I mean, they were a lot bolder with it, but I don't know. I just don't really know how I feel about how this thing came out as a whole. Like I said, when you look at the sneaker itself, this sneaker's different. Would I wear the sneaker? Yes, I would wear the sneaker. I would wear this sneaker and I would rock them. I don't know what I'd rock them with, so it probably won't be much but a pair of black pants or black jeans, because outside of that, I think you're gonna really have a tough time. But yeah, I would wear the sneaker, but I would wear the sneaker really fully embracing the reason why I was wearing the sneaker. And like I said, it's just because I don't have $6,000 for a Tokyo 5. This is probably going to be the closest I get to it. Maybe I'll be able to get the Raging Bull 5s when they drop. I'm anticipating being able to get that. But the Shanghai 5s, I mean, come on. Now, the Bel Air elements, I don't know what that's about because anybody can get their hands on those, so whatever. Again, I appreciate Jordan Brand doing what they set out to do, which was to create a mismatch of some really iconic sneakers that have really made a huge impact for Jordan Brand. So bravo to Jordan Brand for that. However, I'm going to tell you guys like this. If the markets are telling me anything about this sneaker, even early is telling me that the people are not rocking with this sneaker. And here's the deal. You may not rock with this sneaker for a different reason than I don't rock with this sneaker. But I want to know from you guys why you don't rock with this sneaker, because on the resale side of the market right now, you would think that this sneaker and all that it's supposed to be, and even having the sneaker early, was worth a lot more money than the $250 to $275 $275 that the sneaker is worth right now in the resale markets. But if you guys are buying up this sneaker, trying to flip them for a lot of money, save your money. Go buy a PlayStation 5 or something, because this is not the sneaker that you're going to retire on. I guarantee you that. It seems like the closer we get to the release of the sneaker, the less enthused we are about it. I think that people don't really like the materials too much. I don't think that a lot of people connect with all these different sneakers, and if they do connect with the sneakers, they don't really appreciate the fact that it feels like these iconic colorways were a little bit cheapened, if you will, because it incorporated elements of much cheaper and much less desired models. I mean, my goodness, you put a Tokyo 5 on top of a Ghost Green 5. I mean, this just cheapens the Tokyo 5, in my opinion, by so much. The history, the heritage, the value of the Tokyo 5. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the actual Tokyo 5 take a hit on the resale markets after this. But again, I get it. I get the idea of it, and the hype beast in me still likes the shoe. I shouldn't like the shoe, but I like the shoe. Overall, I like the shoe. Call me crazy, please. Feel free in the comments to call me crazy. But this was a bold take. It was something different, and I appreciate the sneaker for what it is. And when I wear the sneaker, I'm going to wear it fully because of the reasons I know that I'm wearing it. Now, outside of that, it just is what it is. This is a really weird looking pair of Air Jordan 5s, and I think that this is going to be a tough sell to a lot of people out there. So as I mentioned, even if you look at the resale market right now, StockX, GOAT, things of that nature, this sneaker is probably going to be under $300, and it's got a $220 price tag on it. The retail price is already pretty high. You're talking $240 and up retail price on the sneaker. People are not going to want to pay $350 to $400 for this sneaker by and large. So if you want this sneaker, go ahead and buy it to rock it. If you're trying to buy the sneaker to flip it, just leave it on the shelf and let somebody else buy it that really wants to shoot. That is my advice to you guys today. All right, guys, listen, I have said all that I have to say about these sneakers. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 5. What the? Are these on your must cop list? Do you guys own any of the original versions of the sneakers that are incorporated within the Air Jordan 5? What the? Outside of the Ghost Greens, because I'm sure most of you guys have those. But do you own the Tokyos? Do you own the Raging Bulls? Do you own the Green Beans, the Shanghais, even the orange ones here, or even the laser ones here? Do you guys own any of those classics? And if you do, tell me about it down in the comments. I'd really like to know. Or if this sneaker is a hard pass for you, let me know that down in the comments below. Let me know why this sneaker is going to be one that you pass up. There's a lot of heat coming out. It's the fourth quarter of the year, so I definitely understand if you guys decide to take a pass on these and leave them for somebody else. But whichever one you choose, if it's a hard pass or if it's a cop, make sure that you also click that subscribe button down in the comments below to make sure that we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family, to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 5 What the, and until next time, I'm out.